So it's a never-ending question of what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, these days I pretty much answer that I don't want to grow up. But there are a lot of things I want to do and I've wanted to be, and there are a lot of things I have been. Um, I remember telling my mother once I wanted to be a model, and she said I wasn't pretty enough and that I had too many scars. Well, guess what, Mom? I was an amateur model for a while, and I did get offered a contract, but I was already gone active duty into the military by the time that contract came along. So I turned it down, and by the time I got out, I just didn't want to do it anymore. But it was just nice to know I could have done it. So, I mean, what do we like more than being able to tell our parents they were wrong, you know? I've worked with children. I still work with children, but I do it on a volunteer basis now. But I did get paid for it for a while. I received training. I was an apprentice carpenter with the UBC, and I did a lot of commercial carpentry work. I loved it. I had intended to return to carpentry after I got done with the military, but I got hurt and I couldn't do that anymore. I did a home study course on photography, but that was before everything went digital. So I like photography, I like art, I like writing. I've published a few things. I have some little things, self-published kind of things, and I've published some articles. I have an article actually coming out this year in the magazine called The War Cry. It's published out of London, for those of you who don't know. Anyway, so I have an article in there called The Journey, and I don't know which issue it's coming at. They said they'll let me know which issue it's coming, and they're going to send me 2 complimentary issues. So I'm very excited about that. And my daughter's actually getting ready to go on some missionary work, and I always wanted to do missionary work. But I figure I'm going to do what God wants me to do. And these days I let God decide where I go. And God has directed me into this position. I'm studying linguistics right now, and I'm loving it. Gosh, I feel like I'm a natural at this. I'm like, wow, why didn't I do this years ago? I just, you know, who would have thought? I'll tell you what I'm not a natural at, music. I played violin. I was first chair playing violin, but there's an art to it. I don't have that art. I was more the technical musician. I played the notes and moved, and I just didn't get it. The music did not run through me. My son, on the other hand, he's got it. He's got what it takes. If he decided he wanted to be a career musician someday, I think he would do great. But at present, I think he's looking at something more like history. And I'm not really sure what else. History and language, so maybe into some kind of archaeology or something. I don't know. But I told him not to rush it. And young people who haven't started on a pattern, who don't have any experience, take your time. Take a variety of different classes in many different disciplines. You never know what you might be interested in that you never would have thought of before, just because you didn't know about it. We think we know what some things are by the way other people talk about it, but don't just assume you know what something is. Go ahead, try it out. I mean, I took an applied botany class. It was fun, but I reaffirmed what I already knew, that me and plants do not get along. I mean, I think they're beautiful, and I love them, and I love them right to death. On the other hand, I love animals. So if the linguistics thing doesn't pan out for me, I think I'm going to go back to school and become a zoologist or something. Not a veterinarian, though. Too much involved there. I wanted to be a paramedic at one time. In high school, through the Boy Scouts and the Division of Fire, I was actually certified as a medical first responder. So for 3 years, and I provided first aid at many events. Even used my skills to take care of my uncle one Christmas morning. But I wanted to do photography at one time. I did a home study course, and then the next thing you know, they came out with digital cameras. I don't know. I feel like I was born a couple decades too late. I know what I don't want to do. I don't want to do anything with computer science. I don't want to do anything with numbers. And I'm kind of starting to lean away from the whole medical field. I mean, the emergency medicine was cool at a time, but now, because of my injuries, it's really hard for me to even do CPR. So I am on a local emergency disaster team. So if there's a disaster, I do have the possibility to be called up to help with that. But most likely I would be either handing out supplies, talking to people, or serving them food. But that's cool, Hey, I volunteer. I volunteer teach. I teach reading and writing in an after-school program, and it's a lot of fun. But if you do a lot of different volunteer activities, that gives you a chance to get some hands-on experience and to kind of see if you're going to like something before you spend all this time in school doing it. So if you're not really sure what you want to do, go volunteer somewhere. And there are lots of organizations out there that have a wide variety of volunteer opportunities. Just go online and Google, nonprofit or volunteer organizations or opportunities or whatever. You'll find something. There are always places to volunteer. All right, well, so I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, because I don't really want to grow up, but my kids are telling me if they're growing up, then I have to too. So in the meantime, have fun. I plan to.